Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Let's quickly go around some stories in the world of sports this evening. We'll start with the UFC, where Usman, both are Nigerian, that is Kamaru Usman, as he's been called, has given his brother what a brotherly advice to our own Nigerian New Zealander, Israel Adesanya, who lost in Saudi Arabia just some weeks back now, and advice coming in from Kamaru Usman, who was also a Nigerian, giving his brotherly advice to his own brother that okay, he just need to take time off the sports, enjoy fight, just like what we're seeing with the Brazilian Silva. He shouldn't rush, he shouldn't hurry coming back into the octagon where it has to be a title fight. But advising him now, he can be taking some matchups for entertainment and what have you, at least to regain what his his ability to regain himself back and then integrate himself back into the sport, back into winning ways. That is what Kamaru Usman is actually telling our own another Nigerian, Israel Adesanya, after he lost to Imanov in Saudi Arabia just some weeks ago. Though in his 12-year career, this is the first time he will be fighting where there's no bet at stake in that fight. And that is what Kamaru Usman is telling Adesanya. Just take up some of this fight and enjoy yourself. Just enjoy the sport, enjoy yourself while you plan how you are going to come back instead of rushing back to come as in getting a title fight. That is what Kamaru Usman is telling Israel Adesanya. He lost that fight to Imanov in the second round of that particular one. So let's see if definitely after that fight for Israel Adesanya, he said he's going back to take some milk. That is what he said, to at least to reassess himself and see definitely if he's going. That's the third straight loss for him after losing to Sean Strickland and then South African Duplessis before losing to Imanov just some weeks ago. All right, let's leave Kamaru Usman and the UFC, and this time around we'll look at football. That is the Super Eagles. Yes, we know that match day 5 and 6 is fast approaching. By next month, we'll be having the match day 5 and 6 in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier for the Super Eagles. They are in a dilemma. They are in a situation right now in their group where they in Group D, they just have 3 points out of 4 games, 3 draws, and they've lost 1. So we have 6 games to go for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. If they want to be in Mexico, Canada, and USA come 2026, they have to win their remaining 6 games. But coming in from the glass house is that the Super Eagles team, they will begin preparation in Kigali, Rwanda for their match day 5. Definitely the players will not come to Nigeria. They will fly directly from their base in Europe to Kigali. And only players who are informed, who are fit, would be invited for this particular qualifier. We know that our new coach, Eric's coach Shell, is in England. He's touring Europe, but he's starting with England, talking to the Super Eagles players, looking at those players he want to possibly want to invite to execute these World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria cannot afford not to be in the World Cup 2026. If that happens, it's going to be the first time back-to-back for Nigeria not appearing in the World Cup. In 2006, we didn't qualify, but in South Africa 2010, Nigeria was there. 2014, we were there. In Brazil 2018, we were in Russia. But the next World Cup, Qatar 2022, the Super Eagles didn't qualify. And as it stands right now, if that happens, wow, what a way. But for Nigeria, all sports stakeholders has been asked, all hands on deck right now to see through to the Super Eagles qualification. So all the players that will be invited will fly directly into Kigali That match is against Rwanda. Is bid for March the 16th in Kigali right there. So they will go straight to Kigali preparing for that game. And then after that, they will play their second game. They will play against the Zimbabwe that is on the 21st of March in their second game. So let's see how that goes. But the player will continue their preparation. Even after that game against the Amavubis of Rwanda in Kigali, they will continue their preparation against Zimbabwe in their match day 6. So for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, yes, definitely they just have to put their acts together and get the maximum 6 points in these two games if they want to play in the FIFA World Cup come 2026. All right, let's leave the Super Eagles quickly, and we'll come back to that story though. Let's look at the Nigerian Premier Football League. We have this story coming in from the Nigerian Premier Football League. Academy Warriors, yes, Academy Warriors signed about 4 new players for the second stanza of the season. 4 new players. They got one from Abia Warriors. So they are looking forward to get a very good outing in the second stanza of the Nigerian Premier Football League. For Academy Warriors, they won the FA Cup last season. That is the President FA Cup last season, and they played in the continent this season, but they crashed out from the first round of games for Academy Warriors. Let's see the new additional players to their squad. Let's see what they will bring to the table. Let's see, because all of the teams right now in the Nigerian Premier Football League are making signings, getting players on the side. Let's leave Academy Warriors and look at this other one. This time around, the Nigerian National League, NNL, the most important league in the land. One coach has been shown the exit door. That is Inter FC of Lagos part ways with head coach Gabriel Ezema. Yes, Inter FC of Lagos, they play in the Nigerian National League. And right now, the news is that the head coach, that is Gabriel Ezema, will no longer be at the dugout for this team. For the Nigerian National League, quite some games, 2 games were played today, and we will be bringing the results on our subsequent show. But for Gabriel Ezema, what a way to end his stint with Inter FC of Lagos. Let's see who is Inter FC of Lagos will appoint next to take charge of that team. But that is the way it is. This time around, let's come back to the Nigerian Premier Football League, where one game was played today. That game is almost done now. It's at the end stage of hostilities. Is between Katsina United and Heartland FC of Owerri. Yes, Katsina United is leading that game by a lone goal. They are beating Heartland FC of Owerri 1-0, courtesy of Mohamed Ibrahim's 90th minute strike. Yes, I don't know what happened in that game. We can see right now from that particular game that they've played 90 plus 19 minutes of extra time, 19 minutes plus 40 seconds right now they've played. Well, we'll be getting reports of whatever happened in that game, that the team is playing 90 plus 19 minutes extra time. Well, but as it stands right now, for Katsina United, they are leading Heartland FC of Owerri 1-0. Mohamed Ibrahim getting the goal on the stroke of the time, 90 minutes on the dot. That was when that goal came in. With that win for Katsina United right now, definitely we know the Remo Stars is at the top of the table. For Heartland FC of Owerri, they are on the 11th position, and Katsina United now moves to the 13th position with 29 points. Same points with Heartland that is losing with 29 points, but goal difference separating the two teams. -1 goal difference for Heartland FC of Owerri, and then -2 goal difference for Kano Pillars, and -2 goal difference for Katsina United, who also has 29 points. So Heartland, Kano Pillars, Katsina United, the three teams has 29 points each, but goal difference makes Heartland FC of Owerri stand at the 11th position with -1 and 29 points. So it is what it is. The game is still ongoing. Okay, it's full time now after playing 90 plus 19 minutes, 20 minutes extra time in that particular game. So it stays that way right now. Heartland still remains 11th. They dropped to the 11th position, while Katsina United now moves to the 13th position with 29 points also. Same points with Heartland FC of Owerri. And then Kano Pillars occupies the 12th position. For Remo Stars, they are top with 45 points. Shooting Stars are second with 37 points. We have Rivers United with 35 points on the 3rd position. We have Enugu Rangers 4th with 34 points. Abia Warriors, Academy Warriors, Abia are 5th. Academy are 6th with 32 points. We have Ikorodu City on the 7th position with 31 points. And then we have Enyimba of Aba, they are 8th with 31 points and plus 3 goal difference. Niger Tornadoes are 9th with 30 points. Kwara 10th, and then we have Bayelsa United are 14th with 28 points. Bendel Insurance, Plateau United, Sunshine Stars, and we have Aqua United after 22 games occupies the bottom table with 20 points and -8 goal difference. Other games will continue tomorrow, Saturday, and then Sunday for match day 23 in the Nigerian Premier Football League. So, well, congratulations to Katsina United for holding on to that lead after Mohamed Ibrahim got that goal, the lone goal for them on the 90th minute of action. But 20 minutes extra time. Well, we will definitely get the feelers of whatever happened that extra time was added. All right, let's leave the Nigerian Premier Football League and go straight to Europe this evening. Cup games continue in Europe and then league games. But in England, it is the oldest football competition in the world. The 4th round of that particular competition, we are talking about FA Cup. Yes, tonight, one game in the FA Cup would happen at the Theatre of Dreams, but they say it's now the Theatre of Nightmares. Manchester United tonight will host Leicester City, where we have Wilfred Ndidi, and during the pre-match conference, yes, we are getting it from Ruud van Nistelrooy, the coach of Leicester City, that Wilfred Ndidi would be available tonight for Leicester City. So it is the 4th round of the FA Cup in England, where Manchester United will be at home to play Leicester City in that particular game. So we'll be seeing Wilfred Ndidi. And for Manchester United, it's been a topsy-turvy season for them. They've not really been getting wins at Old Trafford. So any team going to Old Trafford now is sure of getting a win. But tonight, will they allow that to happen for Manchester United? Well, what a way to go. Let's see. They've gotten 2 new players, Dogu and Heaven in that team. Ayedin Heaven in that team. And let's see if what these 2 guys will bring to the table for Manchester United. So tonight, we'll be seeing Manchester United hosting Leicester City in the English FA Cup. And then other games, like I said, will also come up tomorrow in the English FA Cup and all through the weekend. But outside England, we have cup games have finished with some leagues. Now, the league fixtures will be back tonight. There are some games in the top 4 leagues of Europe, and then also in the Middle East, and then in South Africa. That is the South African Premier Soccer League. All right, Bayern Munich in the German Bundesliga will host Werder Bremen. And then we have Como 1907 in the Italian Serie A playing Juventus. And then PSG, that is in French Ligue 1, we entertain Monaco, while Brest travel to face Nantes, also in French Ligue 1. And then Rayo Valenciano in Spanish La Liga will play Real Valladolid. That is in Spanish La Liga. While in the Saudi Arabia Premier Soccer League, we have Al Nassr versus Al Fahd tonight in Saudi Arabia. The man just turned 40, the man who is leading that team, CR7. let's see what he will do tonight against Al-Fahar. And then for the South African Premier Soccer League, we have Stellenbosch against KZ Chiefs. So all of these games will come up. For KZ Chiefs game, that game will start just a few minutes away from now. That game will be kicking off in the South African Premier Soccer League. So all of these games are lined up tonight. Bayern, Bremen, Como, Juventus, PSG, Monaco, Nantes, Brest, Rayo against Real Valladolid, and Nassr Al-Fahar, and then we have Stellenbosch against KZ's Chief. And then, yes, just this afternoon, we've seen the men's draw. Also, now the women's draw was conducted this afternoon, and the quarterfinals for the women's UEFA Women's Champions League. Yes, we have for the women's Champions League, that is UEFA Women's Champions League, we have Manchester City that will be hosting Chelsea. It's all English affair in that one. And then Real Madrid will battle Arsenal. And then Wolfsburg against Barcelona. Bayern Munich against Lyon. Lyon has won the Women's Champions League more than any other team you're seeing on the screen right now. So just the way we saw the draws, the playoff draws for the men, and now for the women's version, it is the quarterfinal stage already. So Manchester City, Chelsea, all English affair. Then Real Madrid, Arsenal, Wolfsburg, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Lyon. So for England, they have 3 teams in the quarterfinals. So possibility one of the team will make it to the final. So let's see how it goes for the UEFA Women's Champions League. It has been a fantastic and interesting season for the Women's Champions League. It's just painful that we don't have any Nigerian. It used to be Asisa Toshola for Barcelona. I wish she's still with Barca. We would have been seeing her. But no Nigeria in all of these teams that will be playing in the Women's Champions League quarterfinal. But it is the way to go. Let's see if next season, maybe some of our Nigerian Super Falcons player will get lucky to play in one of the teams that will even make it to the final of the Women's Champions League. All right, let's leave that draw and quickly go straight to the biggest franchise in the world, and then we'll come back to football stories. We'll go straight to the NBA, that is the basketball in US. Yes, there were some games played today, and we'll look at the result on the screen right now. Dallas Mavericks, just with 7 points, they defeated Boston Celtics 127 to 120. And then for the Houston Rockets, they fired all their rockets, but the Minnesota Timberwolves were able to withstand all the rockets thrown at them. 127 for Minnesota against Rockets 114 points. And then Orlando Magic, they lost to the Denver Nuggets 112 to 19 points for the Magic. Their Magic couldn't pay off against the Nuggets. And then Sacramento Kings, just with 6 points, they lost to Portland Trail Blazers. It was actually blazing all around for the Blazers in that game, 108 to 102 for the Sacramento Kings. And then the Golden State Warriors, they lost by 8 points to LA Lakers, 112 for 12 points for the Warriors, and the Lakers were able to score 120 points. And then for the Indiana Pacers, they defeated LA Clippers, 119 points for the Pacers to Clippers 112. So these were some games played in the NBA earlier of this morning, and the NBA is getting interesting. Let's see what will happen at the end of the regular season in the NBA. Fantastic. We saw some moves. Doncic and LeBron James linking up right now, and what a massive move for Doncic to join up the legendary LeBron James. All right, we'll leave the NBA and come back to football, but this time around, let's stop by in the Italian Serie A. Yes, it's a good news for Nigeria, for the Super Eagles, and for one club in the Italian Serie A, that is Atalanta Bergamo. Their star man, African best footballer of the year, Ademola Lookman, set to make a return from the knee injury he sustained weeks ago. Because of that knee injury, he was not available when they played Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League and some league games. But the good news is that the man will make a return to the side, which is a sigh of relief for their coach Gasparini, who really wants Ademola Lookman back to the team. But it's a good one, not just for Atalanta Bergamo alone, also for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because the match day 5 and 6 of the FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifier is fast approaching. So we need him in the Super Eagles squad, and definitely we know that Eric Schell is in Europe linking up with Super Eagles players. Those players he deems fit that he's going to use to execute these qualifiers and possibly other games that will be coming up for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. All right, before we go away from the show this evening, quickly, let's look at this story where Premier League tops record-breaking January transfer window. Yes, for the January transfer window, we know the window closed on Monday, and there were some big moves, big money moves in the January transfer window. Especially Manchester City, they were the highest spender. You know how much they cough out to buy Mamouche from German Bundesliga. For the English, for the Premier League, both for the men and the women's Super League clubs, they were the highest spender in the 2025 January transfer window. Chelsea making that to happen when they signed Grima for £900,000. And then it was nearly £1.9 billion was spent globally during the January transfer window. And for the English team, the men alone, they spent £498 million. That was what was spent by the men alone. And then, like I said, Manchester City were the biggest spender, where they signed Omar Mamouche, Victor Vires, Abdulkadir Kusanov, and Nico Gonzalez for a total of £190 million for all of these players that they bought. And the German clubs come second, spending £237 million in the January transfer window. And then the third on that list is Italy. That's the Italian Serie A. They spent £178 million, while France comes fourth with £167 million. And Saudi Arabia, we know John Durant from Aston Villa joining Al Nassr. Saudi Arabia spent £162 million during the January transfer window. But for English, the English clubs, they were the highest spender, a total of £498 million. That was what was spent in total, both for the men and the women's Super League. So let's see, all of these players, Manchester City in England were the highest spender. They bought about Omar, Victor Abdulkadir, and Nico Gonzalez. So almost about 4 players they acquired, and the 4 players cost them £190 million. All right, this is where we'll be leaving it on the show Sports Update this evening. Thanks for watching. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.